Hey everybody, Leon here to take you through the steps so you can have a great slice backhand. So step number one is going to be continental grip. We're going to put ourselves in continental grip. We're going to use our right index knuckle or left index knuckle if you're left-handed. We're going to put the racket so that you can see the emblem of the racket going up to the sky. The edge of the racket is going up. And we're going to use our right index knuckle and put it not on the top bevel, but the bevel to the right of the top bevel, right there. So right index knuckles go straight on like that. My grip is nice and loose. See, there's a little space between my fingers. That way I have a little bit of flexibility in my wrist. So that is step number one. We are in continental grip. Step number two to the slice backhand. The left hand is going to go on the throat of the racket, like a ready position. And I want to make sure I have early preparation. That way when I get to the ball, I can just swing. So the early preparation is going to look like this. We're going to do a unit turn. So I'm going to turn my body to the left. I'm going to rotate my hips, and my chest is going to be facing the left. My right shoulder is going to be facing the court. And then I'm going to create a C shape with my racket and my arm. There's going to be a 90-degree angle with my racket and my wrist up like this. The left hand is pulling the racket back on the throat of the racket, and there's going to be a 90-degree angle with my arm as well. I don't want my arm to be limp and straight like this. I want to create that C shape and build tension by pulling the throat of the racket with my left hand like so. So then, once I move in the direction of the ball and I get where I need to go, I'm going to be sideways. My right shoulder is going to be facing the ball or the court. My chest is to the left, and I'm going to drive through the ball, leading with the edge of the racket. I have the tension built up. I have this C shape behind my neck. If I look back, I'll see it directly behind my neck, and I'm going to release the racket, leading with the edge of the racket through the ball. Now, one thing that is very common is that people will release and kind of go straight underneath the ball because we want to imagine hitting with a lot of slice. What we want to do is we want to go with the face of the racket forward towards the ball, almost as if I was going to hit the ball flat, but barely leading with the edge so that it has a little bit of spin on it. Another thing that's really important is that I make sure the contact stays in front of me out here. I don't want the ball getting too close to my body. That's why we want to prepare really early before we move towards the ball. That way we can manage the distance of the ball towards our body. So the contact is going to be much more stable in front of us like so. And then the next thing we're going to talk about is the follow through, which is really important. Oftentimes we'll see people kind of fold their wrist out like so on the follow through when they're trying to hit a slice. That's actually a different shot. What we want to do is we want to keep our wrist nice and firm, and we want to maintain the top of our wrist kind of towards the court or up towards the sky. I don't want to fold my palm out like that. So I'm going to either, if it's a high ball, I might follow through down like so. You'll see Federer do that pretty often. Follow through like that, but still the top of my wrist is out towards the court. Or if it's a lower ball, I might have a higher follow through, but my wrist still faces the sky at the finish, like so. So this first drill we're going to do, you don't even need a partner or anything. You don't even need a tennis court. I just happen to have one, but you will need tennis balls and a racket. And we're simply going to set ourselves up sideways and practice our slice backhand. So you're going to set up the racket behind your neck like so. You're going to create that 90-degree angle with the racket and your wrist, and the 90-degree angle with your forearm and your upper arm like this. You can almost feel it on your neck like this. And we're going to just drop the ball in front of us and practice the slice backhand. You can tell a little bit about your technique with the result of the ball. So if I slice the ball and it goes straight up, that's because the strings were pointing upward and I went straight underneath the ball. So that means I need to make the strings go more directly through the ball towards the court and hit the ball a little bit flatter. So I just hit the ball straight up into the sky, and what that tells me is that my strings were pointing upward at the moment of contact, like that. And so the next couple tries, I need to try and point my strings a little bit more forward at the moment of contact, hit the ball maybe with a little bit less spin, a little bit more flat in order to get the trajectory that I want. So I'm going to grab a couple more balls. See here, set my racket up on my shoulder, that C shape that I'm looking for, drop it in front of me. Maybe a couple more. Not bad. And one more. Notice how I'm staying sideways. I'm not rotating my chest towards the court. I'm keeping my chest towards the left. My right shoulder is leaning into the ball, into the court in front of me, and my left hand stays behind me. All right, and now we're on our way to a nice slice backhand. All right, now that we've finished the first drill, we've practiced just dropping the ball in front of us and slicing the ball, and we feel confident with the quality of our shots, we can now go up to the next drill, which is where we get a hitting wall, and we practice hitting a slice backhand against the wall so that the ball can come back to us and we can slice the ball that's coming towards us now instead of just the ball that's being dropped in front of us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to feed the ball across so that it goes back into my backhand, and I'm going to try and hit my slices directly straight into the wall in front of me instead of across so that I can get a consistent slice backhand. So I'm going to feed it across into the backhand and practice my slice. Notice that I'm preparing very early. As soon as I see it's coming to my backhand, that way I can just swing when the ball gets there. Staying sideways. My left hand stays behind me. I'm driving my right shoulder into the ball. And there we go.